Hey, this is Keith with the Georgetown County School District, and today I'm going to show you a little bit about Padlet. When you first get in, you sign up, you get an account, and then you go to your dashboard, and then I'm going to click to make a Padlet. Now this is important here because this is where you go ahead and choose your layout, whether you want it to be in a stream, a grid, or a shelf-like, looking like a back channel, a map kind of setting, or what have you. This is the freeform. Used to be the old freeform. This is a wall. It puts it in bricks, so no matter how long it is, it sort of stacks them up. This puts them in a grid view here, so that they all sort of evenly back across on the top line, and then the top line of the next group. So if you don't want them going all over the place and moving things around, this is the best way to do that. So I'm just going to choose this one for now. And I'm going to select here. And it's going to give you an opportunity to modify. So I'm going to click next. I want to modify my pad. I'm going to close this. I want to go here to this little icon, the little cogwheel. I'm going to click here. I can rename it here. And then I can add a little description of it if I want to, which will appear here. And the other thing that I can do, I can add an icon if I want to for going right here. I'll just add a smile kind of a guy. It'll go right there. All right, go back. And then this is the address for the bar. So if you click here, copy to clipboard, this is what you would share with your kids. The appearance, I can leave that wallpaper on, or I can go and choose a different color, texture, pattern, gradient, whatever I want to, and I'll go back. Then I can go down here. Another thing that I like to do is do the attribution, and I like to click that on so that students have to put their name in, and it does not automatically do it. It will for you, but it does not automatically do it for the students. So new post position, you want it to be the first thing or you want it to be the last thing to show, you can make that choice. Comments, allow viewers to comment on the post. I don't do this at first, but later on I do allow students to be able to comment on one of those posts. And I will usually have a post and then somebody else has to get one response or one comment on it. Reactions, sort of leave that off right now. They get to playing with that. I do always want to make sure you require approval and filter profanity. Now I've not seen this work really great, but at least you are trying to make that effort to keep those kind of things off. And once you get everything done, you hit save. All right, then I'm going to close this. And what I like to do is click in here, double click in here for the first, or you can click the little plus that shows up at the bottom. And I'm going to add a title. Now you see it's got my name in there. Now if you want to make it different, you'll need to change that to put Mrs. Smith or Mrs. whoever or Mr. so-and-so. But I'm going to just say this is sample, and then I'm going to have them write something in here. And what I always like to have them write in here, or what I always like to say to them is, be sure to include your proper name, otherwise the post will not be approved. Okay, and then they can add whatever they want to after that. That's your prompt. Right? And so you leave that on there as your prompt. And when they come in, they add to it, and they go in and click. You see how it sort of stacks them up and puts them in. I'll just do this one and do a edit. Well, let me just add one. I'll add one. This is the title. Something else, and then whatever I want to write in here. And I can click off, and if I do it again, you see how it sort of stacks it all the way across the top right here, which is nice. But this is your prompt. You might want to, in fact, you might want to say to them, this is the prompt and instructions. And then underneath it, you would say, make sure you post something about whatever part of the lesson you want them to be able to respond to today. All right, so once you do that, and this is me putting things in, but once the student gets in there, they can't go to anything else, or they can't move this thing around without it being approved. Now let's see if I can pause and go over to the student and see if I can get in as a student and see what it looks like from that side. Okay, so now I'm in as a student. This is the teacher. Here's a couple of things that the teacher has put in, but I am the student now, so I can either click this little plus down here, or I can double click here anywhere on it, and it's going to put it where I need to be. Up here I have to be able to, and it will give you an opportunity to be able to put your name, but up here I may want to put Billy, and then underneath here I'm going to fill in and answer whatever questions I want to do so. So now it says awaiting approval, and it will not show to the whole group until such time as the teacher approves it. So everybody else will not see this one, they'll only see these two. Right, I'm going to go back to the student, or excuse me, back to the teacher view, but I do want you to see this while I'm in here. I'm going to go ahead and click here. I can add a picture. I can go to Google as a search. I can add a link. I can do an upload here for some kind of thing. I can actually click over here and I can add my voice to this. So it's now starting the microphone. I want to say, yeah, allow it to do there. And then I will click here. This has been a fun Padlet to work on. Click and play back and save. And save. So now it's there. And again, nobody else can see it until the teacher has required, or it has approved what it is going to look like or sound like before everybody else gets to see it. So that is a good way to start using Padlet. I'll stop here and go back over to the teacher view. Okay, so now I'm in the teacher view. Again, I can approve Billy's. Now Billy's now can be seen by everybody else. This one still cannot be seen or heard until I approve it. If Billy goes back in on this side, if Billy goes back in and we get the approval, I just had to do a refresh, and Billy decides, you know what, I'm going to go in here and write something else. Answer, so what? And he thinks everybody else is going to get to see that. Back at the teacher page, I have to approve it again before everybody else. And I may say, you know what, I don't like the way that looks right there. I may decide to come up here and edit that post myself, or I can delete it, or I can copy that post if it's something that I need to be able to turn into administration for some reason or another. I can change the color on it, but I'm going to come in here and I'm going to edit something myself, and I'm going to say to that, check your response. And I'm going to put in parentheses and have Billy check what that is. Now Billy should be able to see that. When I go back over to his side, I'm back at the student side. Now see, Billy sees this and he says, oh, she saw it. He saw it. Let me go in here and take all that stuff out. And it's still going to require approval. And then when the teacher comes back over here, they can then approve it once it's been corrected. So that's a real short way to look at doing Padlet.